Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and as always a huge thanks for joining me here on my YouTube channel, the Bushcraft Padawan. Thanks for joining me in this week's Thursday store, and thank you for joining me in this, my 150th video. I have no idea how I've got here. LNT, or leave no trace, is a phrase that you've probably read, seen, heard, or even used yourself. In short, it's this ethos, it's this principle, it's this mantra of when we go outdoors to do the things that we enjoy doing, we should be leaving no trace behind us. Leave no trace. Now, I should say before I get any further into this video, I'm a big fan of it. I'm a huge fan of it. I preach it, I try to practice it, I absolutely get the ethos and the mantra behind it. But I've been thinking about it more and more recently, and this is what I've been thinking. Is it even possible? What do I mean by that? It's the word no that has me thinking. Leave no trace. It's not leave minimal trace. It's not leave very little trace. It's not leave scant trace. It's leave no trace. And that's the thing that's got me thinking. I think it's easy to think about leave no trace being pick up your litter and take it out with you. Take other people's litter potentially out with you. To clear away any campfire that you've had and make it look like there's been nobody there. I think those are the obvious things that many people, quite rightly, jump to the conclusion of leave no trace. But this is what I've been thinking. When we go outdoors, when we walk through a piece of woodland, we can't not leave any trace. Even if we're just walking from A to B through a woodland, we're leaving trace, we're leaving footprints, we're crushing things under our feet, we're destroying microorganisms, we're destroying micro ecosystems, we're crushing small larvae, whatever, under our feet. We are leaving a trace. When we take dead standing wood and burn it, even if we tidy the fire up, we've burnt some dead standing wood. That would have rotted down and become some part of the ecosystem. We've left a trace. If we take a piece of green wood and carve that to create something with, we've left a trace. Even when we drive to our location, regardless of what vehicle we're driving, whether it's petrol or diesel or electric, that in itself is leaving a trace. And this has just got me thinking about this whole leave no trace mantra. Once again, I'm not knocking it. I'm not suggesting that we move from leave no trace to leave minimal trace, because people will interpret the word minimal in very different ways. Leave no trace suggests no trace at all. But it does get me thinking about the impact that we have even when we are desperately trying. He agrees up there. Even when we are desperately trying not to have an impact, even when we are going out of our way to practice leaving no trace, we absolutely still have an impact. What are your thoughts on this? Should we stick with the leave no trace mantra? Do you think that does enough? Do you think it's misleading? Do you think that by people just tidying their litter and taking it out with them, just clearing their fire up, and I'm not suggesting that they're small things, okay, they're important things. Do you think just by doing the obvious things, we're perhaps leaving in people's minds this inference that they're not having an impact as long as they do those things? Because I think that's misleading, but I don't know what the answer is. Maybe you do. Let me know your ideas and thoughts below. Is leave no trace enough, or do we need to go further with educating people that actually we are constantly having an impact upon our environment, even if we're trying not to? Thanks for sticking with this one, folks. There's a lot jumbling around in my head with this one. I don't quite know how I feel or think about it, and that's what these Thursday Thoughts videos are all about. They're just letting this randomness in my head blurt out and get captured on camera. Hopefully by the time it gets to you, it makes some sense. Thanks ever so much for watching, folks. You know what to do with the various likes, shares, subscribes, all that sort of stuff. If you've not yet seen my latest video, which is all about understanding contour lines, it's coming up on the screen now. Why not check that video out, because there's probably something in there that when you are out on the land, hopefully leaving no trace, you could find very useful. Thanks for watching.